All right.
All right, and we're live. We're back for episode 4.
Amazing.
Amazing. Today, we're joined by the fittest guy I know, Phil Cousins from Muscle and Flow Fitness. And we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to be doing to get your mental state into a proper form, how to get outside, get moving, how to change your workout structure from being in a gym to being able to do some workouts at home. We're going to talk about a little nutrition. And of course, as always, there'll be just a little bit of nonsense thrown in between.
Like usual.
Like usual. How you doing, Phil?
Not bad. How are you?
Oh, we're living the dream.
We're good. I am very good.
It's very good.
You know, I'll tell you my morning before we start. I woke up at 9 and I went for an hour, 1 hour walk and did abs.
Bullshit. I'm not buying that.
I did it. It was amazing.
What did you do for abs? What did you do for abs?
Well, I have this app. I know I've been saying the name of the app wrong. I think it's like Lift 4 or something. So there's like an ab portion at the end of each video. It's like 100 or 200 crunches and side things and whatever.
I'm not buying that you did 200.
I'm fat. My stomach was sore from after that. And I did walk 3.6 kilometers today. I have over 8,000 steps. Average heart rate of 121 is the average heart rate. Pretty good.
121. Well, the last 2 days, I have gone for 10-kilometer runs each day, which I don't even like driving.
No, each day.
Each day. I did 10 kilometers because I ran out of toner. So I had to go to Staples to get my toner. And I thought to myself, well, I could drive, but why not run? About halfway there, I started thinking, how bloody far is Staples? And then I was looking on my phone to see if I could pick up an Uber for the ride home. But I had a few people motivating me, so I didn't get the Uber on the way back. I ran, and then it was like 8-point-something kilometers on the way back. And I was like, well, that's kind of a dumb number to end on, so I might as well try to get to 10. So I went around a couple of neighborhoods, made it to 10. Then yesterday, after I had an Epsom salt bath on, what was that, Sunday night. Yesterday, it was a beautiful day, so I went outside, and I was feeling incredibly strong for some weird reason. Wasn't tired, and I ran I went by Phil. You know, we go to Frosty John's every Tuesday night after basketball, so I ran all the way down to Highway 2. I live up by St. Stephen's High School. Ran down to Highway 2, went around, ran through the Bowmanville High School parking lot, went down past Frosty John's, went over to Mearns, all the way back up to Concession. It was a heck of a run, but I feel better. I feel better. It makes me, I've cleared my mind. It refreshes me to go on with the rest of my day, which is kind of important now. Wouldn't you agree, Phil?
Well, one thing that's changed for people is they have a lot more time to do 10-kilometer runs.
Yes.
Or their extracurriculars are cut. Like we were playing basketball at least once a week. Usually guys are playing more than once a week. So now that that's cut out, you have the energy to do 10-kilometer runs. But how are you going to move forward with your weights? Because like for me, the main reason I don't run 10 kilometers is there's never like a time in my life when I need to run 10 kilometers. Even playing basketball, we only run like 5 kilometers. So in terms of changing how people are exercising, they need to figure out how to do some strength training from home, which is like, I own a home gym.
Yes, please show us this. Yes.
This isn't a tanning bed, as you can see. Right? Here's my rack, here's all this stuff. But most people don't have this kind of stuff, right? Like I got kettlebells down here. I don't know if you have any of those. So like you can do a lot.
You getting your stepper to sit on again?
Yeah, you can do a lot. I'm using this is my gym, right?
Hey, that's an ab workout, isn't it apparently?
Sitting on it, no. Like sitting on it's better for your back. That's the main reason I'm sitting on it. So that's what I was gonna say, Dan. Like one of the things you could do is probably instead of just the Epsom salt, like work in some stretching. Dare I say?
No, you know me. Me and stretching don't get along very well.
So like that's one of the things that people can change right now because they don't have, like a lot of people are exercising like 5-6 hours a week in a gym, right? Like if you were going to, like you were doing Orange Theory, right?
Yep.
So like how many days a week were you in there?
5. Shout out to Orange Theory, great place.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, right. So like now you don't have that scheduled workout time. So that's like a real challenge for people is getting back onto a regular workout routine.
Now, what would you say to the people who are sitting at home, they're feeling really down because they feel like the weight of the world is crashing upon them and they can't motivate themselves to get up and do anything?
Well, like first thing is you have to manage your expectations of what you're going to be able to do from home if you haven't been exercising from home. Because a lot of people, like if you have a gym with a treadmill and an elliptical and a rower that you're going to, you have somebody sitting in front of you motivating you, you have a group of friends that you meet up with, like that's all gone right now. So you are going to have to find a different way to motivate yourself, right? So like just for us being on this group chat right now, I could just a simple run, like I could easily run a workout class.
Right.
have you been doing
So
that?
like, so the people, sorry?
Have you been doing that?
No, I've been putting on, like, I didn't really know how this thing was going to go. So I've been putting on like one, like full body workout that you could do like that day, about once a week.
Right.
Like, you know, I'll put different posts on there. Like my last post, like one of the things I'm doing with my son, speaking of like exercising, is we'll do like called acro yoga. So
I saw that.
um, generally you're doing it with a woman and a man, right?
I was wondering where you're getting all awkward.
So yeah, like Kat doesn't, she's not down with flying. She's working in the health industry too, right? So she doesn't
Right.
like to call it, the person on top is the flyer. So
Right.
like him and I will just like we're home all day together. And so we'll spend about an hour together just like screwing around playing soccer, or like we're doing acro yoga, for example, and like that's different from the stuff that we've been normally doing, right? Playing soccer, playing basketball, playing hockey or whatever. So now we can't do that stuff, and like you can't play outside with other kids and this kind of thing. So like that was kind of like something that we started working on together, and I got him balancing, standing up on my hands and stuff like that. Like it's crazy, it's fun too, right? So that you can also work into part of your own exercise. Because if you try and keep up with your kid playing soccer or hockey or whatever, like you can still play outside in your yard.
How many hours a day do you think, like if people are feeling down, like everyone is feeling kind of down because of what's happening clearly, how many hours in a day do you think someone should be active?
Active, an hour. You should be able to be active for an hour.
Okay.
So whether that's an hour all at once, or you wake up in the morning and you spend 15 minutes doing a stretch in the morning.
Right.
And that's part of your daily routine.
Right.
At lunchtime, your kid should be at school right now, or whatever, you eat, there's part of your routine, and then you go outside and you do something active, right? For 20 minutes.
Right.
There's 20 minutes, right? Go for a walk in the evening, and that's like you've been active. Now, depending on the level of activity, like if we're talking, you're trying to get a six-pack, you're gonna have to be more active or more aggressively active. But
Right.
for most people, like that adds up to an hour.
Right.
Right? And it's simple not to do, and it's also really simple to do. So if you get yourself in the habit of getting up and moving, like you're already doing it. So in terms of managing your expectations, you need to change what your expectations are right now.
Right.
Even if they just do something small, but they do it consistently, that's going to be a win for them at this time, right?
Oh, 100%. If you're running for 10 kilometers for the next week and you don't stretch, Dan, that's not going to be a good thing. But like, not not doing anything is far worse, because I know that people are sitting and they're scrolling and they're watching other people exercise. There's 1,001 workout videos to watch on the internet. But like, are you getting up and actually doing anything? Like that's the most important thing. And once you get moving, like anyone that's been active before, or like, let's say you don't want to go to the gym, like the hardest part about the workout that day is just showing up and doing it.
Right.
So in terms of like getting a serious workout, like we've been like 3 weeks into this now, right?
Yeah.
So like you should know there's an adjustment period there with your family, or maybe you're living by yourself. Like I don't know your situation. There's an adjustment period there where you don't know what your family's new schedule is. Because my son's here all the time now. It's like the weekend all the time. So for me, I didn't work out today though. Usually the first thing I do in the morning is I'll do a workout for like 20 minutes. I'll just get up and I'll move and I'll stretch and I'll do that. And that's part of my daily routine. So if I get that done, I'm good. If you don't start working those kinds of things into your daily life, you start sitting around and then guess what? The depression gets worse, right?
Yeah. Now, from a nutrition standpoint, what do you think people should be doing? Because I, for one, have subsisted a lot on pizza and not necessarily the healthiest things, because while we're at home, we're trying to work. We're trying to keep the kids from being murdered. We're trying to make sure that everything kind of runs smoothly. And what's being left out is sort of the regular meal prep that we normally would have done. It's like, oh man, we just came in from outside. And so instead, like yesterday, it was chicken strips and French fries go into the oven, right? Are there any little things that people can do to try to get the nutrients in, because that will help with their mood and their fitness levels?
Yeah, like we blasted through our rations in like 2 days for 2 weeks, right? Because when you're sitting around not doing it, again, you're adjusting to what's happening around you. You have a lot more time to do things like cook. So, I mean, yesterday was maybe a bad example for you guys if like chicken fingers and fries is not the norm at your place, but you're home all day. So like you can cook stuff in the morning or make that part of your daily routine. Like I think the big thing is staying on a routine. So you can cook a bunch of meals and stick them in the freezer. Like that's not a bad idea right now, considering we don't know if there's gonna be chicken at the store every week.
Right.
But if you just keep flying by the seat of your pants, like that's what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, right? So now I'm managing my expectations. I'm back on. I take 2 protein shakes a day, so that's important. I'm trying to keep my immune system strong. Yeah, I would say just like adjust your schedule and make sure that you are preparing for those meals, because I know you're working, but like people like me, I work out for an hour to an hour and a half a day, and then that's it.
And that's why you look like you do, and Will and I look like we do.
Well, come on, I look like Fat Albert.
I'm used to spending time in my gym, and I have nobody's coming here right now, right? Like I stretch people too, so that's another thing. Like Adam doesn't want to stretch with me, right?
Right. So none of your clients are working out with you on like over Zoom or whatever? You have no clients?
I don't have any right now, no.
Okay.
I have people I'm working with, like I'll give them their workouts, and they're following like a certain nutrition and exercise program right now, but like I'm not doing any face-to-face stuff like this. Like this is the first time I've ever used my camera on my computer.
Oh, see, now you can use it. There's a new revenue source for you: online workouts with Phil, one-on-one.
Yeah, and like I didn't know how this was gonna go. Like I didn't think I was gonna be off. Like it doesn't look like I'm back to work for like at least a month. So yeah. There's gonna have to be some sort of adjustment, and that's like a lot of people in the fitness industry have a bigger overhead than me. Like I work from my house, so I'm maybe not taking as big of a hit. I'm the only
right.
But a lot of people are going to this, and I don't know if this is the new thing, which is the online training like this, where you can see me. But it's not a bad idea, and I hadn't really considered it before, but now it's sort of being forced upon us.
Yeah,
which is fine, right? You just gotta make adjustment period. But
because in your practice though, like you do a lot of really cool stuff that a lot of places don't do. Like that, what is it? That facial stretching. That
stretching, yeah.
Yeah, like I've heard nothing but great things from all the people that come to
what?
regarding that.
Fascia. It basically connects.
Okay.
It connects your bones together, your tissues, your soft tissue. It's part of like pretty much everything in your body that's not bone. So what you'll get, I'll just turn to the side here from the side. So like your fascia, for example, it'll sort of start to mold into this if I sit in front of a computer all day, right? So, right. Yeah. And so when I stretch your fascia, it's not just like, let's say, so this would be like a regular stretch if I do this, okay? So that's where my finger stops. Right. Fascia stretching is I lift and then I pull, and so it's giving it also traction. So now I can feel that between all the like different stuff in my hand.
Right.
Anyways, that's essentially what fascia is. So if you have a shell, let's just say your upper back is the easiest one to show you. Let's say this is like how you spend most of your day.
Right.
Like you need fascia stretching. Basically.
Stretch out like this. So most people sit like that. I mean,
Right.
every day.
Right.
So what kind of stretches? Now that you're bringing up stretches, what kind of stretches? Like if there's 5 that you could do in a day to help your mental stability, what do you recommend?
Mental stability. So I don't know about your mental stability in terms of like what that's going to do, but they say like a Superman stretch or anything where your chest is out like this, where you're proud. I don't have a back rest, but let's say you had a backrest on your chair.
Right.
Kind of stick this part of your back in there and get your arms open.
Right.
Arms open and chest open like this. If you're just going to sit down, right? You should feel that all stretching through here. So that's one you can do. That would be for your upper back, right?
Right.
There's nothing on the ground. So I'm just on the ball. So number 2, again, a lot of people are sitting. So if you can, hopefully I don't fall here. You put your opposite ankle on your opposite knee like this, right? And then just sit up straight. You guys can do this one.
Right. Okay.
You guys can do this one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then for how long? 30?
Are you guys doing it right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you.
You still can't go. Well,
I
fine.
can see
All right.
I don't know how to move my laptop. I'm like, what? I don't know. My leg is crossed.
You're gonna ask me, you gotta do it, right?
Yeah, I'm
Right.
working on it, but you know what though? It really pulls into my hip.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like I'm trying to hit the spots. If you're sitting, like you guys are still working right now. I'm in a gym and I'm able to move around and do stuff. But like these would be probably the best ones for
So
somebody
those
who's not
two-
moving around right now.
Right. So those 2 stretches, you do what? 20 seconds? Like what?
You can hold them at least 30 seconds, but if you're, sorry, I'm way back here. If you're tight, you can hold it for longer. You just have to be careful how hard you're pushing it.
Right.
Like if you're really tight, like if you guys don't stretch a lot, which I'm assuming, like I know Dan doesn't stretch a lot.
Little stretch.
The longer, like you're gonna have to let it stretch for a little while longer, especially if you haven't been stretching.
I'm
Right.
telling you
Like
one thing though.
improving your flexibility, especially like I just turned 37 yesterday. So like as you're getting
You got the
older,
same birthday, Phil?
what's that?
Your birthday's April 6th?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will's
Look at
birthday
that.
too.
Happy
Your birthday?
belated. I turned 42 yesterday.
Happy belated, my friend.
Hey, the same to you, Phil. That's amazing.
Nice.
It'd be a national holiday in my opinion, but that's just me.
I always take my birthday off. Dan asked me to come on yesterday. I said it's my birthday.
Yeah,
Well,
he said no.
it was my birthday too, but yeah, I'm pretty easy.
Yeah.
And so with stretching, you should be stretching every day?
Right now, I would say yeah.
Okay.
Why not? There's sort of a rule of thumb that goes like every decade that you've lived, you should be stretching that many days a week, like a decent stretch.
Okay.
So you're 42, you should be stretching 4 days a week.
Well, my body is stretching itself naturally. Skin, skin, you know.
Yeah. I'm not into semantics that much, but that's not really what I meant.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. But like my birthday meal yesterday was ridiculous. Like I had stuffed shells, I had a Snickers cake. My diet was not the best yesterday. I'm back on it today.
But it's okay. You went for a walk and you did 200 sit-ups this morning.
I did, and I went for a walk yesterday and Sunday.
It's good
Thank
stuff, Will.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. But I'm sure Phil right there is taking sips from his protein shake. Now
No,
you
it's,
mentioned something. You
it's
mentioned
coffee.
something.
It was my birthday yesterday. I had some drinks.
Phil, let me ask you about vitamins, because I know, like, I'm a vitamin junkie personally. I love vitamins. I take a fruit pill and vitamin D and B and all the stuff. How important are the vitamins to your overall health and mental health as well?
Mental health, like I take vitamins too on a regular basis.
Right.
There's a lot of like conflicting evidence of whether it's even useful.
Right.
At this point, like in this stage of like where the world's at right now, I'm not taking any risks. So like I'm big on vitamins too.
Right.
And I think, and this is what I tell most people, is let's assume that they work, because I'm assuming that they work. So that's
they work.
one thing. If you're already eating, because a lot of people will say like, I'm already getting enough vitamins. I eat from all different colors of the rainbow and all this other stuff. You say, yeah, but if you're not getting that, this vitamin covers it.
Right.
So right now, like everyone's diets change too. Like I wouldn't say like when your workout changes, your diet ends up changing. A lot of things will change until you get back on this
Right.
routine. People aren't eating the same things. So maybe you were getting a vitamin before, but now you're not, because you're not eating at that place, or you're not making your lunch like you were every day before, and you're not on that same schedule. You're eating Snickers cakes for breakfast or whatever, right? So like what if I don't judge, but whatever a vitamin whatever, but like I'm big on the vitamins. So like for me, I'm taking, like I said, 2 protein shakes a day, and there's vitamins in that help me.
With the 2 protein shakes today, because I started protein shakes personally, which I used to hate them. I find they fill me to the point where I'm not eating. I mean, the point is not to eat as much, clearly, I think, with the protein shake, but I love food.
Yeah, but Will, throwing your Snickers cake in a blender and adding a little bit of protein powder doesn't count.
Dude, that cake was, I still have some of that cake left.
You know what? It actually would help, because like, so here's why you should be taking protein shakes. You have, well, technically you have 4 macronutrients if you count alcohol. You have 3 macronutrients. So you have protein, you got carbs, and you have fat.
Right.
So if you don't add that protein, like, okay, and it's very easy to consume a lot of calories in fat and a lot of calories in carbohydrates. It's not so easy to consume a lot of calories in protein.
That's
like
true.
If you eat, like if I gave you a plate full of chicken breast to eat on their own, you probably couldn't eat it. But if I gave you a plate full of French fries,
you're right.
Eat French fries, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy to consume these other like carbohydrates. So when you're bored, that's usually what you tend to go to. But if you add, and your body tends to like, my body runs on about 2,500 calories. Between 22 to 2,500 calories, that's generally what I end up eating throughout the day.
Will's thinking that's breakfast.
Well, I mean, it could be breakfast, right? Like you can easily, if you pack down the carbs,
right,
that's going to get your calories up. So, but your body's only used to having like, so let's say you're on 3,000 calories a day.
Yep.
You don't eat anything all day. Come like 6 o'clock tonight, you're going to be starving, and then you'll overconsume.
That's right.
What ends up happening is your body.
That's my problem in life. That's my problem, I think, because I'm a guy that, if you work from home, we're not all doing it.
Right.
And you get, like, because I'm weird, I don't like to prepare me. I pre-cook all my stuff and I eat throughout the day if I remember to, or I eat it all at night. So I think that's the key with the routine, like you mentioned there, Phil, is that if you meal prep, even if you're at home, you should still meal prep, because at the end of the day, most of us are, I'm not a parent, but most of us are homeschooling and working from home. It will make sense to have some kind of structure while you meal prep, maybe Sunday and Wednesday, 2 meals, so everyone has something and it's easy to prepare. That's what I kind of do. And when I say I, my wife.
That's fair too. So do you always work from home as well?
I'm in real estate, so yep.
Oh, okay.
I'm work from home 90% of my day. And another question I was going to ask you was with regards to what vitamins, if someone was new here and they never had a vitamin in their life, the Flintstone vitamins, which are delicious. What are the 2 or 3 key vitamins to take?
Well, right now, definitely vitamin C. But I would generally tell people to just get on the multivitamin.
Right.
Because that generally covers everything.
Yes.
Essential fats, that's another one.
Essential fats, what is that?
Like, so like fish, like if you take fish oil, for example.
Yes, I do.
Right, so that's good for a lot of different things. And a lot of people don't eat fish. Like I like fish, but I don't actually end up eating a lot of fish. So that's a good way to get your healthy fats up as well. And then again, protein powder. Like I'm big on adding extra protein into the diet every day.
Right.
And that essentially what that does, like I was saying before, it balances out your macronutrient ratio.
Right.
So your diet could easily be like 60 to 70% carbohydrates, another 20% fat. And so like, what does that leave you for protein?
Right.
So people with leaner muscle mass or like less body fat on them always have, like their diet always consists of more protein. If you look at the macronutrient ratio.
And what
That would be, again, like for me, I'm always telling people to take more protein.
what protein do you use? Because I get confused now. I go out there and there's friggin' whey protein, there's grass protein, there's hemp protein, there's soy protein. Like, what one's the best for what we're trying to accomplish?
The best is debatable. I just take a whey isolate. I don't buy the $120 hemp seed proteins. Some people are vegetarian. The best vegetarian one, and I've taken it myself, is or vegan, I should say, is Vega. So that's a pretty good brand for vegetarians. But in terms of the whey protein, or that's what I take. I just take a whey protein because you want to keep the cost down too. And I don't find that you're going to get a huge difference between something that's been filtered 18 times versus 17.5 times, except for like the price tag. So as long as it tastes good, because a lot of people don't like the taste of certain proteins.
Right.
So find that first, make sure it mixes well, and those are the two main things.
Now, and a protein shake, should it this is personally probably for me, does it replace a meal? Right. So if you have it for breakfast and you throw in protein powder, banana, whatever, I use almond milk because I'm trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
Is that a meal replacement for breakfast?
Depends. Like I will eat, like my breakfast is usually like 900 calories. So like I take a lot of food in at breakfast.
Right.
Like if you can eat more than that, like you're not going to gain weight by having too much protein and too many fruits in your protein shake. Like that's not what's causing you to gain weight. So if you want to eat more after that,
it's the damn Snickers cake.
I thought that. I said, Dad, these bananas. I had 8 bananas one day. I was like, I'm gonna get fat.
Like I guess there's another tip. Like if you're really concerned about where your health's going, like do a few things every day. So like let's just say protein shakes. If you take and this is part of the reason I do it. If you take 2 protein shakes a day that have berries and bananas in them, or like fruits and vegetables or whatever, you just increase your vegetable count, your fruit and vegetable count up to 4 from 0, right? So if you can get another 2 to 4 servings of fruit and vegetables throughout the rest of the day, like you're doing pretty good just from eating it. But those shakes are automatically getting that stuff into you, right? That's the stuff that's going to keep your immune system strong. The proteins like vitamin for your body, like vitamins for your muscles, I mean. You take your multivitamin and you do it every day. Like more importantly is like be consistent.
Right.
Consistency is the key.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna say that. Now for protein, you say you take 2 a day. So is there one like when you wake up in the morning, and then is there another one you take like mid-afternoon?
Yeah, they have. There's different kinds of proteins. Like a whey protein, for example, like that's immediate. So like if I just finished a workout, that's a good time to put that type of protein in me. The other protein is casein protein, and that's a slow release one. So people will take that at nighttime because instead of your body feeling it right away, it gives you a consistent burn. So like, trying to think of an example here. So to bring you back to what you're asking me, should my protein shake be a meal replacement? If you took a casein protein and you wanted to last you from breakfast till lunchtime, you would take a casein protein. But if you're just making,
how do you spell casein? Because I'm ordering some today on Amazon. How do you spell that?
yeah, CASEIN. It doesn't taste as good.
I don't care, because I would take it at night, so I'm not like snacking. My thing is that I love I love to snack.
I mean, you could do the same thing with the whey protein at night.
Right.
But like when I was super serious about like when I was just trying to like get jacked all the time, I would take a whey protein and a casein protein separate. Like the casein protein, like doesn't taste as good.
That taste is good, but you're saying the slow release allows you to feel fuller,
Right.
longer, and most likely will, if you're a person that snacks, especially right now, we're all at home sitting down. You know, I love my rum beverages, but
Right.
you know, I find if I have a nice rum or two or whatever then I end up snacking. So if I have my protein shake, my casein protein,
Yeah.
it's at 7 o'clock, but I'm not in the fridge by 9:30, which is the key. So I think if people are feeling like they're eating too much, maybe do a casein protein shake mid-afternoon or or late day, late in the evening, whatever you want to call it, and that will hopefully minimize your snacking. Correct?
You could still take the whey protein shake.
So you're saying any
Does it
kind of
taste better?
shake will work? You're saying?
Yeah, well, if you want, just take the whey protein, because the casein protein is really for people that are serious into bodybuilding.
Right.
You just
We'll
don't-
cross it
I guess-
off the
Okay, so
list.
casein protein. You know what else has casein protein is Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Right, it takes longer for your body to break it down.
Right.
So
All right.
you can do
So
that too. I'm
protein-
not trying to talk down casein.
So a protein shake with Greek yogurt, not like I do almond milk with mine. So you think Greek yogurt might be better?
I would do those two things separate. Like just eat the Greek yogurt as something separate.
Okay.
If you're looking for another casein protein option, but it
Okay.
takes longer for your body to break it down, right? So Greek yogurt is just an example of casein protein.
Okay. Good to know.
Now that we've got Will all set up so he can transform himself into a Greek god over here,
Oh, thank you.
for people who are sitting at home and listening to this and they're interested in what you're saying, how do people get a hold of following your stuff? How can they reach out to you, ask you any questions that they may have? How do they get in touch with you?
So I have a Facebook and Instagram page. So it's Muscle and Flow Fitness on Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook. I'm not as up to date with my website right now, but I'm still using it. So I'm going to try and add a YouTube link to that because a
Okay.
lot of my clients don't have social media, believe it or not. So they're asking me to make a YouTube account so they can just watch it off YouTube. So I'll be adding videos on there, and I just have to figure out a better way to link it. So when I post it on Instagram, it goes right onto my Facebook page, or on my Facebook page, but my website.
Question: You mentioned there, Phil, that your breakfast is 900 calories. Now, I was watching literally on Saturday, my 600-pound life, where they wake up. Clearly, you're not eating. 2 packages of bacon. 12 eggs. The girl that I saw on Saturday, her breakfast was close to 16,000 calories, something ridiculous. Like, what are you eating for your breakfast?
So I'll have 4 to 6 eggs every day. So that's
Whole eggs?
whole eggs. Well, if I have whole eggs, I'll have 4 whole, and then I'll have 2 whites.
Okay.
There's healthy fat and healthy cholesterol in the egg yolk.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I eat, and eggs are one of the best proteins that you can take.
And is the egg fried or boiled or scrambled? Like,
Doesn't really matter. Just get it in. Yeah, eggs are super are superfood. So you should be taking eggs every day.
Eat a lot of eggs.
So I have 4 to 6 of those,
right?
and I'll have 2 coffees, right?
Black coffees?
No. Don't worry about what's in my coffee, but we'll count those as the
Bailey's?
No, I do. I put cream and sugar in my coffee.
Right.
I'll have 2. They're buckwheat waffles, and they're organic. And
Yeah, you told me about those. I bought them. They're actually pretty good.
yeah, so I'll have 2 of those. And I'll have 2 cups of like frozen berries on top of that, and then that's 900 calories.
Good God, yeah.
Punch it in.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So like eating healthy calories is a lot harder than you think, right? Like getting a lot of healthy food into you.
Yeah.
So breakfast is always like a big one for me. Like I'll have a big breakfast every day, and that usually carries me to like I'm usually hungry by lunch.
So what do you have for lunch?
I'm not as hungry in the afternoon, right? My lunch is usually light, and then
Like
I'll
what?
usually carry on to dinner. And then if dinner doesn't satisfy me, then I'm in the fridge.
So Phil, what do you have for lunch? Just now I'm curious.
Lunch, Well, lunch is going to be breakfast today because I got up late. But for lunch, I'll have usually I'll have something lighter. Like I'll just have like a salad with chicken or beef or like whatever's left over from dinner the night before.
Right.
But generally, where I'm always eating from is my protein. So it'll be some sort of chicken. It'll be some sort of ground beef. Usually, I'm not eating like a lot of steak right now just because there isn't a lot of it. But most of where I get my protein, and then the protein supplements, right? I'll take protein shakes.
So I got to ask the 900-pound question here, because I'm listening to this and it all sounds great, and I can feel my abs trying to poke through as we're talking about all this healthy stuff, but that sounds incredibly boring to me. Like if I had to wake up every day and eat the exact same type of thing and eat chicken breasts and salads, like I think I would want to stab myself in the eye with a pen.
Well, what are you eating at lunch right now?
All kinds of different stuff. Some days, like yesterday, I actually made myself a nice healthy shake before I went for my run. Some days it's a grilled cheese sandwich. In all honesty, in this house, it's usually whatever the kids are going to eat. That's what I get. Right? So it's not, but it's always different. Like I couldn't imagine, like I've seen your meal prep before when you guys post some pictures on that kind of stuff. And it's like the containers are like chicken, asparagus, broccoli, chicken, broccoli, asparagus. Like
that's probably, you're thinking cat, because I've never ever
like, and as
I don't like eating out of Tupperware.
Yeah, but as I'm looking at this, like that's cool. I can prep that, but after like 3 days, I am not gonna be happy.
No, I think I think you're thinking we're a lot healthier over here than we are. Well, it's all for us. It's always different too. Like we have pizza. It's not like we don't have pizza, but there's where is your protein source coming from? It's always coming from one of those sources. No, like
yeah,
I some sort of like when I say ground beef, I'm not like that means like we could be having meatballs, we could be having hamburgers, we could be having like macaroni and beef. Like there's when I say beef, like we eat from the protein. Like we make our meal from around the protein. So like
that's what I need to do.
We have fajitas, you know what I mean? Like there's always something different. That's like our staple. So like we probably have 5 or 6 different like main meals that we'll have like repeatedly every week. But my breakfast, it's pretty much that is my breakfast every single day because I like eating that breakfast, right? Yeah. Everything in that is good. And if I start off that way, like they do say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, like I'm good for the rest of the day. If I want to eat garbage the rest of the day, at least I had like a good start to it, right? And that's 900 calories. That's already a third of what I'm supposed to eat.
Awesome. Well, so this has been a lot of fun. This has been by far our longest episode yet. But I think it's a lot of fun talking about health and fitness. I see Will's probably taken down 4 pages worth of notes.
I have notes.
And I'm gonna follow up with you tomorrow, Will, to make sure that your consistency has stayed the same. And you've done another 200 sit-ups.
Thank you.
I'll send you a message. Phil, it was awesome getting to see you today.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So we're gonna send out a link to your Instagram and your Facebook. So if anybody wants to watch the daily the workout videos and things like that, to be able to do it at home
or have questions,
I'll put one on for you guys tonight.
Awesome. And thank your wife for being a frontline healthcare worker. She's doing a great job.
Very important.
Yes, will do.
And well, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
All right, buddy.
Well.
Bye.
See you later.